Hello, my name is Pauline and this is my A-Level Media Studies Critical Evaluation. So, completing a critical evaluation was a crucial task in our Media Studies A-Level course. It allowed me to assess all the strengths and weaknesses of our project, and in other words, I can evaluate why certain parts of our project were done in certain ways and what that had led to and what could have been done better. Audiences get used to certain codes and conventions in movies, and when those codes and conventions are implemented into the process of production of your film, this brings certain benefits, such as it will be easier to attract audience to your film, to watch your film, and they're more likely to enjoy it. For example, one of the codes and conventions of a melodrama film, which is our genre and on which my partner has done the research, is concerned with the themes that are raised in the film. Themes of a melodrama film are typically interpersonal and highly emotional, such as love and family. And this is our film. It raises questions about the afterlife while also showing how characters deal with the loss of a loved one. This is something the audience can unfortunately relate to. These topics are quite often raised in other types of media, from books to TV shows, and we use two films for reference and inspiration: Wings and Desire from 1987 and Ghost Story from 2017. As a result, it is not confusing because it's not completely new, but it's also engaging because it's our film and something completely similar was not made before. Another convention of a melodrama that we used is that in melodrama, conflicts are exaggerated and intensified to elicit stronger emotional responses from the audience. They are often focused on character relationships rather than larger forces. So there are two types of conflict, outer and inner. While the first one involves other characters, the inner deals with the personal struggles of the main character. In our story, Lucas, the main character, does not understand why his parents don't react to him entering the room or calling them. They seem detached from reality, indifferent and isolated. And their actions indicate that they feel some kind of remoteness, and this confuses and frustrates Lucas, and this is an outer conflict. Inner conflict develops due to Lucas' confusion and denial of what is happening. He does not recognize his room, but some objects seem to awaken emotion in him. He does not reflect the mirror, and his voice sounds unnatural. This leads to him questioning how real and conscious he is, whether this is a dream or just a bad joke. Our film also applies to codes and conventions of short films, one of which is that there are often 1 to 3 main characters and they are accessible through the internet for free. This is our film. It has 3 characters and can be watched on YouTube. However, usually short films have 1 to 2 locations, while ours has 5. This is because our story is broken into little parts. Lucas wakes up, Lucas goes to his mom, Lucas goes to his dad, and so on and so on. We wanted each part to be associated with a specific location. And locations in which Lucas finds his parents are tied to their characters, how do they feel and what they are doing. However, our film is not our only product. We also have postcards and social media page to promote it. Social media page design was my task, and I also included some of the codes conventions of film social media accounts into it. Generally, codes and conventions of films social media accounts include festivals, film poster, film scenes and popular lines, backstage, and updates on film coming out in theaters, VOD platforms, DVD and Blu-ray. Instagram page of our film has film posters, film scenes and backstage photos. Because of this, audience is informed about the theme of a film, its atmosphere, its cast and crew. This engages the audience with the film, makes it more interesting and convinces them to watch it, share their opinion and as a result promote it to more people. However, we did not include updates on film coming out on VOD platforms, DVD, Blu-ray, and festivals at which it will be screened. This is because often short films are available online, which is one of the codes and conventions of short films, and ours can be watched on YouTube, as mentioned above. We use the same font and color of text on the postcards and titles and film. This communicates to the audience that those two products are under the same brand and a uniform look is created. For the same reason, we did a photoshoot for our social media and postcards after filming. Therefore, it was easier for us to have the same setting and characters looked exactly as they do in film. Our social media page on Instagram is also equipped with different details that raise awareness in the audience about our brand and its product. There is a logo of our film, a production company name, the introduction of characters, and of course, postcards that my partner has created. At the beginning of the course, my partner completed a market research in which she found out quite valuable things about our audience, and this helped us produce our film and complete the minor task. So our target audience is mostly female, aged 15 to 24. As a result, we decided to use Instagram as a social media page for our short film. Because according to research, 59% of internet users between the ages of 18 and 29 use Instagram, and 68% of Instagrammers are female. In addition, our target audience tends to watch films online, and our film will be available to YouTube, which can be accessed through the bio in our Instagram. In addition, music is preferred to be included by our target audience, and we've been debating whether to not include music or not, but after the market research, this was clear. As a part of our audience feedback task, we decided to create a sample group of 4 people, which we asked 2 questions with subtopics. First question is, what do you think were the weaknesses of each of our products, or what did you not like about them? A. Postcards, B. Social media page, and C. Film. Second question was, what do you think were the strengths of each of our products, or what did you like about them? A. Postcards, B. Social media page, C. Film. And these were our findings.
What do you think were the weaknesses of each of our products, and what did you not like about them? I found the font of the postcard confusing, as it doesn't really fit the mood of the film. And I believe that the social media page would have been much more effective had it been made on Twitter rather than Instagram, as I tend to spend more time on Twitter. And lastly, regarding the film, I found the narrative to be a bit confusing due to the length of some specific shots. What do you think were the strengths of each of our products, or what did you like about them? What I really liked about the postcards is the color schemes and the composition. It seemed to fit really well with the genre of the film. Then the social media page for Sorrow seemed to be very well organized and presents us with information about the film. Lastly, I really enjoyed the music used for the film. It made for an eerie mood and a suitable atmosphere.
What do I think are the weaknesses of the postcards? I believe that the postcards do not give us enough information about the film. Me personally, I cannot deduce what the film is going to be about and if I'm going to be interested in watching said film. What do I believe are the weaknesses of the social media page? I don't have any issues with the social media page. I see everything I like to see in a social media page for a movie. What do I think are the weaknesses of the movie? I think that the movie could use some more stable camera work. It would definitely not do it any harm. What I like about the postcards is they do give us nice scenery. They're well done and well designed, and they are rather nice. What I like about the social media page is that it pays tribute to all the actors in the film, and it even gives us some behind the scenes footage, and it's always nice to see how the movie was made, how the film was made. What I like about the actual film is, even being so short, it gives us a clear story as well as nice imagery. It builds intrigue and mystery in the beginning and quickly resolves it without actually directly addressing it, and I think it's very nicely done.
We used a number of technologies that help us present, produce, and promote our work. For presenting and organize our work, I used Google Slides, PowerPoint, SlideShare, Prezi, Word, and Google Docs. PowerPoint, Word, and Google Docs are quite simple and easy to use, but still effective, and I encouraged no problems while implementing them into my work process. Google Slides was probably the most important tool for us as partners. We could edit the presentation at the same time while working at different locations. However, the internet is needed to work at Google Slides, and this limitation sometimes made our work less efficient. SlideShare is a useful tool to upload presentations in PDF format. However, a few times when I uploaded the presentation, its color was changed, so this limited my usage of SlideShare, and I have implemented it into my work only a few times. Prezi is a visual and video communication software and a great alternative to PowerPoint, which I use in order to, from time to time, change the way I presented and organized my work. This change from PowerPoint to Prezi sometimes allowed me to be more creative, and not all of my presentations look the same thanks to that now. In different cases, different technologies were more useful. For example, for a pitch presentation, we used Google Slides because it was a drawing task, while for the script, I used Google Docs as it was more of an essay format rather than a presentation. For research on cons and conventions of short film, I used Prezi as its interface seemed more applicable than PowerPoint, because in Prezi you can lay out all the topics, for example, all the cons and conventions of short films on one slide. In order to produce our main and ancillary products, we used the Panasonic Full HD Camcorder HC-V380 for filming, Epidemic Sound for sound effects, and DaVinci Resolve for editing. With the camera, we did not have any options. However, this one is small, compatible, and suitable for both video material for our film and photos for our postcards and social media. Probably the best feature of it is that it is light and easy to hold in hand compared to this bigger camera, and this was important for us as we produced handheld shots. The only disadvantage is that we did not have experience with this camera since it was borrowed, so it wasn't originally ours. However, that is not a limitation of camera, but due to our time management. And if I had to do this again, I would leave about an hour before filming, so we could try to film with the camera and look into its different features and technical elements. The main thing I thought about when picking an editing software is how much does one cost and whether I can edit for free. In this sense, DaVinci Resolve was perfect for me. It doesn't cost anything to edit in it, and overall this is an excellent video editing software. It has a lot of features and it's quite complex, which might be a limitation of it, but it's definitely also an advantage. You can really go in depth while editing in it. So this complexity of the DaVinci Resolve is also a disadvantage of it. For the first few days, its interface was very confusing for me, and I had to contact my friend, who is an experienced video editor, to help me with it. It can be seen that it is made for professionals, but after a few days I got better at editing, and in the end I'm satisfied with how our film turned out and with the editing part. Epidemic Sound was used to find special effects for our film, and I was worried that I will not be able to find some specific sound for some specific scenes. For example, I need a heavy breathing, but I needed it for a boy, not for a grown man, and this is a big difference, and it will not be realistic if I didn't find a heavy breathing of a boy. But Epidemic Sound Library was huge, and that was definitely a great advantage. I could find all the material I needed. Plus, it has a 30-day free of charge, and for me as a student, that was great. And lastly, for promoting our products, we used Instagram, YouTube, and Figma. Instagram was used as a social media page, and as our target audience uses it, this would increase the chance that they would come across our short film. Both Instagram and YouTube I used before, and therefore I encountered no problem while implementing them into my work. I also used Figma to add little details on our photos on Instagram, such as those lines and characters' names, and I also used it to align our posts and see how they would look together. I really love Figma. I used it last year, and it's like Photoshop, but it's so much easier to use while it has all the tools I need. It's also quite visually pleasing to use, and again, as a student, it was free of charge, which is a great advantage.